Why should you get a diesel stump grinder versus a gas stump grinder? And a diesel one's going to be way more efficient, way more powerful. Even if you get the same horsepower, a diesel will whip its butt because when you're grinding stumps, it's all torque. Once that wheel slows down, and they're all going to slow down. Once you start getting into the stump, it's going to slow down. So that once that wheel starts slowing down, a lot of what you have to do in order to keep it going is you have to lift the head up just so it's not taking so much of a big old bite. You have to get the time for the wheel to spin back up. If you have a diesel machine, you do a whole lot less of that. You just keep eating at it. And here's why: a diesel stump grinder, you have a piston inside the motor that go. They all have pistons that go inside the motor, but a diesel one, you have the head at the very top, and a diesel one goes much closer to the top than a gas one. So you get double or even more compression than a gas would. Not only that is on its long, it's usually have longer strokes too. So on a stroke back down, it's grabbing in more air, sucking in more air before that compression hits. So it's gonna have more air in there too. It's more efficient. You're gonna have better fuel economy when you're grinding stumps with a diesel than you would a gas. There's just it's got so much more powerful a gas, you get all that horsepower at high RPMs. But what happens when you slow down? And it's gonna slow down. So you don't want a gas machine 100%. You don't want it. Not only that, it's not gonna last as long as a diesel. Like that for lifetime wise. I mean, you might go through a lot more motors on a gas than you would a diesel. Get a diesel. You always want a diesel. Don't get a gas. Even if it's an older machine, get a diesel. It's worth it. So I got my friend across the water. He's got like 15 grinders. He's got a couple RG 100s. I think he's got like three of them. And he's got the 1152 Vermeer, that 115 horsepower Vermeer. But he likes that 372. That small 372 four-wheel drive diesel Kubota motor. And here's why. The thing is efficient. It's got this cool gearbox. It slows down kind of like a transmission in a car, but it's on your stump grinding wheel. You need that torque. Not only do you need that torque, you don't tear up bearings. Like the RG100, you got bearings on there, so it gets expensive. The 1152, it's kind of a pain in the butt loading on the trailer. You got to chain it all down. Plus, it don't fit everywhere. In the city, when you're grinding, it'd probably be good in the country because it's remote control. You really want that 372 efficiency wise, and it's good. It's easy to work on. Like the Super 50 and the RG100, they're kind of a pain in the butt to fix stuff. If that motor blows on a 100 or even a Super 50, it's a pain in the butt to replace it. You got to pull that whole motor out of the frame. You can't work on it right in there. You got to pull the whole thing out of there, and then you can work on it. So you just like if your pump goes out, you got to pull the whole motor out of there. You got like 26 lines in the Super 50 on in that whole area underneath the hydraulic tank, crammed in there. It's an old design. I mean, it works, but it's an old design and it's really hard to work on. Get a 372 or get a Super 50. A Super 50 is good. Depends on Depends on what you like. If you don't mind working on your machine a little bit, you can get more horsepower out of a Super 50. If you don't want to work on it, you could probably get a 372, low hours, and I mean you're going to be a little bit slower, I think, just a little bit, not by a whole lot, but it's pretty. I mean, it's a lightweight machine. It's easy to work on. You don't have a frame. The components are all easy to access. Four wheel drive. It won't take that big of a truck to tow it. So I mean, depends on what you want to spend in your area too. It depends on how some cities are crammed in there. You can't fit. A 372 might be a little bit better of an option. You know, some people like the SG40s. SG40s, I think they're gas though, and not only is there gas. I mean, it's cool that they got the tracks on there. I like that feature of it, but I just don't think it's got a lot of power. I think the design on it, that clutch area, I see a lot of people having problems with the Super or the SG40. I see a lot of people having problems with them. So those clutches are $2,000. I mean, the 372. I think its clutches are $2,000 also. But I think you can get more life out of that Vermeer than you can that Bandit. Another reason to get that 372 is that gearbox. Here's another reason. When you're grinding in like let's say a bunch of vines, stuff like that, where if you have the 100 or if you have a Super 50, you got bearings that just suck in crud crap, and you have to fool around with it a lot. If you got that 372, you don't have to mess with it. You don't even have to grease it really. I mean it you do have to put some type of oil or lubricant in there every 500 hours. I think it's 500 hours what I heard, but that ain't that bad. You really don't you have virtually no maintenance on it, in my opinion, compared to bearings. Bearings I have to pull out stuff a lot, and if you're in an area where you got a lot of vines, you might do it many times in the same day, which can spend a lot of time. 372 ain't a bad machine either. I network with other stump grinders. In fact, I'm over here in Norfolk near the bridge tunnel. You can see it right behind me. You see that big old bridge tunnel? Well, anyway, it goes all the way to the other side. Some days we get traffic that gets so bad over here that you end up sitting in the traffic for hours, many hours, and you can't get to your job and get home at a reasonable hour. So sometimes if you do a small gig across the water, it ain't worth even going to it. So what we do is I trade off gigs with him. I send him work. He gives me some commission. He sends me work on this side, and then I collect the commission. And we do it back and forth when we don't want to cross that bridge tunnel. If it's for like $100 or $200 gig, it might not be worth. It depends. If we have more gigs in the area, then it's definitely worth it. But if it's for $100 or $200, he'll just send it to me. I'll get it. I'm on this side of the water. I'll knock it out real quick if it's a small gig, and we just send work back and forth. Network with your other stump grinders. Network with somebody that's got a bigger grinder. Network with somebody that's got a smaller grinder. I send work sometimes. It's very rare, but when I get a gig, I can't get in somebody's backyard. I've sent them. I have another friend. His name is Matt. I've sent him, some stumps. Not a whole lot, but I've sent him a few stumps. But he just got free work out of there. And if I get more that I can't reach, I'll send him more. So network with other stump grinders. Don't look at them completely as a competitor. Look at them as an opportunity. How do you market it? You can face post. I post on Facebook, Craigslist. I talk to other people, other tree companies, network with them. You do good service. You try to be as efficient as possible. You don't hit them too hard in the head. Sometimes you hit them too cheap, and you're not going to make no money. If you hit them too expensive, they're never going to call you again. So you want to be right in the middle somewhere in there, and everybody's middle is going to be different. It depends on your machine. Sometimes you get a newer machine and you just want to use it. You'll be cheaper than the next guy.